Hi, my name is Henry, and in this video, I'll talk about the 3 things that you as a PMM can do to make yourself future-proof or recession-proof. The first thing you need to do is to bring a business perspective. And what I mean by this is that most PMMs today are very good at executing against defined business objectives. Usually, the PMM will play the support role to the product and the sales team. So if the product team has certain products that they need to launch, they will come to the PMM to assist them in that launch. In the same way, the sales team might have certain metrics or certain revenue goals that they need to hit, and they will come to the PMM to ask them to also support them in hitting their revenue goals. But however, instead of just playing the support role, what a PMM can do to go the extra mile is to bring a business perspective. And what I mean by that is not just bringing a customer insight to the table, which PMMs obviously do. It's also bringing a business recommendation to the table. For example, if you discover from your customers, you find a product gap, instead of just bringing that information to the product team, you can also bring a potential solution to the product team on how to fix that gap. I know it might sound like you're stepping into the product team's lanes, but actually by bringing this recommendation, you can actually influence the product team to build a product that you think would address the business gap. This way, you're positioning yourself as not just the customer advocate, but also a source for business solutions. I'll use the real example from my experience. So when I was at Liftoff, what Liftoff did at the time was we helped mobile app marketers acquire users for their apps. And we did this through user acquisition, which is our UA product. So basically advertisers can spend money with us, and we would help them spend that money efficiently to acquire the best users through in-app advertising. But we also had a re-engagement product, which is we help advertisers re-engage their existing users to get those users to come back to their apps, also through in-app advertising. So we had a tiger team, so basically an internal team within Liftoff to see how can we increase our revenue from our re-engagement product. In the meeting, there were business folks, product folks, executives. I noticed that there was a big product gap in our re-engagement product. Basically, the product gap was that our re-engagement product only retargeted users that we acquired for our customers. It didn't target all the users in the existing app. And I thought this was a big missed opportunity. So what I did was I actually voiced my opinion, and then I proposed a solution by putting together a few slides saying that, hey, this is what our business today, we're just retargeting a subset of users, which means that we can only spend so much money in terms of advertiser spend. However, if we change our re-engagement product so that we retarget all of the users in the app, our potential for revenue is much higher because we will be able to spend more money from our advertisers. So I basically presented this to the product manager. He came on board with it. Then we presented it to the Tiger team, and we got buy-in from the execs. That is one example of how a PMM can go the extra mile and bring that business perspective to the table. That way, you're not just supporting the product and the sales organization, but you're also helping drive the business objective of the whole company. If you think about it, the teams that are the most important to the company are the teams that generate revenue. So that includes the sales team and the product team. And then product marketing, I think you need to prove that you can also contribute to the revenue. So that is my first one, which is bring a business perspective to the table in your company. The second thing PMMs need to do is to be a thought leader. Most PMMs are very good at operating. They understand how to plan, they know how to launch, they know how to build or execute projects, which is all good and it's very transferable, right? Like if you can do PMM really well in one company, most likely if you even pivot to a different industry or a different company, you can do the same thing by using the same frameworks, the same process, and the same best practices. However, many PMMs can do this, so that doesn't really differentiate you too much. What differentiates you is your subject matter expertise. You can be a pioneer in the industry by either teaching the industry or coming up with new forward-thinking thoughts for the industry. And there are 2 ways generally to do this. One is through presentations, whether that's giving talks at industry events or company events. And then the second way is to publish content, either through white papers, blog posts, or even videos. The key here is that you want to educate the industry on how to do their business better, either with your company or using their existing solutions. You don't want to come off as someone who's just trying to sell your company's products. You want to come off as a thoughtful person thinking about how can you educate the customer and the industry to help them do their jobs better. This way, you can position yourself as someone who has deep knowledge of the industry and also someone who can provide value to the industry regardless of who you work for. Even if you were to leave this company or do something else, people in the industry will still know who you are based on the content or the talks that you've given, and you are more likely to be future-proof in terms of your employment. You can also eventually transition into a consulting role if you decide to forego the 9-to-5 job. So an example of this, at Liftoff, the ad tech industry as a whole, we were affected by this thing called iOS 14.5. So basically, Apple launched this new update to their phone, which forced advertisers to ask users for permission to track their data. And what this means is that advertisers will have less data to target users with in-app advertising. And this became a big concern in the industry. Obviously, more privacy means less targeting. And while that's a win for the users, advertisers will have to struggle in terms of allocating their spend and making sure they're actually targeting the right users with the right ads at the right time. So what I did during that time is that I took the opportunity to first learn about these changes that's happening and then also share my knowledge to help educate the industry on what's going on and how they can prepare for this big change. Basically, I wrote a bunch of blog posts on my perspective of the industry and then also published a few funny videos and skits to help people learn about it in a simple, easy way while also being entertained. This was great because it helped boost our brand at Liftoff as a thought leader in the industry in terms of addressing this big change. And then also for me personally, it boosted my personal brand as a thought leader in the app ecosystem because people have seen me either doing panel talks or doing videos or writing blog content. So all of this is to say that be a thought leader, not just an operator. And finally, number 3 is to always be learning. As a PMM, you might have a set of defined responsibilities, but you can always look for opportunities to develop more skills to broaden your scope of work. So for example, if you are a product marketing manager on a specific product or a function, you can explore other products. You can also explore other functions. You want to be able to tie that new skill set back to the business. So for example, if you are really good at product marketing, but you notice that the business is really lacking in content marketing, you can actually tap into content marketing and take ownership over certain areas of content marketing to help the business drive more revenue through awareness and leads. Another example is that let's say you are doing product marketing for a startup and you notice that there isn't too much emphasis on growth marketing, and that is also a big opportunity to acquire more customers. You can actually learn AdWords, Facebook, or paid media marketing to help generate more paid leads that convert into customers. This way, you're not siloing yourself to a specific function or a product, but you're picking up skills that, 1, impact the business, and 2, that are transferable to future opportunities that might not necessarily be de-scoped to a specific function or a product area. For example, from my own experience, I used to work at a company called Springboard, which is an ed tech company that's really focused on helping people switch careers into tech. It's an online boot camp that helps people get jobs in data science, UX design, machine learning, and software engineering. And as a product marketer there, my main responsibility was to do user research, so building out customer personas, 2, building out the positioning and messaging for the company and also for each of our course, and then finally launching those courses into the market. So that was my main responsibilities. However, I saw that there was another opportunity that can help raise the company profile and also generate way more inbound interest for our courses. And that was actually through content marketing. I saw that we've already been doing a lot of blogs, but the big missing piece was videos. And at the time, I thought videos was a space that we needed to get into because a lot of people these days watch videos, they don't read as much. So I took on the onus myself to really learn how to make videos. Then I asked my boss at the time to invest in camera equipment. Then we started shooting videos with industry folks on what's it like to work as a data scientist or a UX designer or a machine learning engineer. At the time, we had a YouTube channel of about 2,000 subscribers. And by publishing these videos consistently, we were able to scale the YouTube channel from 2,000 to 50,000 subscribers. We got millions of views, and a lot of those views converted into visits to our website and, more importantly, applications for our courses. So this is a prime example of where I might be tasked to do something within PMM, but I stepped out of my comfort zone to do something outside of PMM, which is content, to help drive revenue for the business. And this is great because now I have this new skill set in my skill tree. And when I apply to new jobs, I can also say, hey, I've done product marketing, but in addition, I've also done content/video marketing. This allows me to do content marketing and also manage content marketing if they have a team or if they have an agency that they work with. So that's all I had. These are the 3 things you can do as a PMM to really make yourself future-proof or recession-proof. One is to bring a business perspective. So put on the business hat, think about how you can contribute or drive the business objectives for the company. And number 2 is to be a thought leader. Don't just be an operator, be a subject matter expert. And then this way you can help your company establish themselves as a pioneer. And then this also helps raise your personal brand and profile within the industry. Finally, number 3 is to always be learning. Step out of your comfort zone, identify new projects or opportunities that you can do, and learn how to tackle that by building up your skill tree. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below on what kind of videos you want to see next. Till next time, see you